Hey guys, so today I'm doing a video that's a little bit different, and it's something that I saw someone else that I'm subscribed to do, and I'll put her video below if you want to watch it. But it really spoke to me, I guess, and I feel like it's a really important thing to talk about, and I feel like if more people talk about it, then maybe something will change. I don't know. And I guess I just wanted to share my experience and stuff that happened to me and how I dealt with it and how I moved on from my bullying experiences. And, maybe it'll help someone. Maybe, you'll just be able to relate to it. And I feel like that's really the worst part about being bullied is that you feel like you're on your own and, it's just you out there. Everyone's against you and no one understands and everyone hates you, but it's really not true. This happens to every single person at least once in their life. You're not alone. You're never alone. There's always someone. So for me, my bullying experiences probably started in about year 5. Most of it ended at about year 10, and then I had some stuff last year. And I guess a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people I feel have experiences where it's like they don't really have any friends, it's just like them against like the popular people. But mine wasn't quite like that. Mine was my actual friends, like people who said they were my friend, and we spent so much time together and we would hang out every single day, and it was like they were my best friends, but they would constantly be talking about me behind my back. They would even say stuff to my face, like insult me to my face, but I would never say anything because I was like, well, if they don't want to be my friends, I'm not going to have any friends. So I kind of just went along with it, which is wrong. You should never ever accept that. You should never ever let anyone treat you like that. But I was a little kid. I think the thing is, most people don't realise the things that they say and how much they can affect someone. You might have said something to someone 3 years ago and they still remember it. I remember in primary school, year 5 or year 6, I can't remember exactly, but I had a crush on this guy, and it was that stage where your friends asked people out for you, cool. And we were all hanging out because he was part of our group, and one of my friends said to him, right in front of me, I was sitting right there, asked him if he would ever date me, and he said he would date me if I had a better face. And to him that probably seemed like nothing. He probably does not even remember saying that to me at all, but I still remember it like that. I'm never gonna forget that someone said that to me. That's so harsh. And I remember going home and crying that day because I was like, well, what's wrong with me? I've always been, I've never been, fat, overweight, but I've always been friends with people that were skinnier than me. I don't know why, but I always have been. And, I was the slightly fatter, had pimples, just the unattractive one of the group, and people noticed, and people would tell me regularly, and it's the 2 years of primary school, so year 5, year 6, and probably year 7 of that, and me just not saying anything, and just being whatever, and then going home and crying about it. Because people used to say stuff to me like that every single day. People I thought were my friends would make comments about the way that I look. And, the popular boys, you know. Yeah, and so I guess I probably got to a point in like year 8 when I was just like, fuck that, like, I'm so done with like letting people walk all over me and just thinking that if they can say whatever they want I'm not going to do anything. So, you know, I started to stand up for myself, and I think it definitely helped. Like, it stopped things, but the thing that I still had a problem with was I would never say anything to the people that were my friends. And, like, to this day, they still don't even know what they did to me and to my self-esteem. And some of them I'm still sort of friends with. Like, we still talk occasionally, like, if we were to bump into one another, we'd be like, oh my god, hey, how are you? And they don't even know. Like, it's really hard waking up in the morning and being like, I don't want to go to school anymore. Like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to go and have to hang out with these people and pretend like I'm happy when I'm not. Because I didn't want to have no friends, so it was like, well, I either have shit ones or I have none. And I don't know. I don't think that that's a good solution to your problems. I always feel like if someone's treating you disrespectfully, then you should say something. You don't have to react in the same way that they are and be vicious and callous. But you should always stand up for yourself. You should always let people know, like, because you can't let people get away with that. And I don't know, I remember one time I was friends with this group of people, everything was fine, whatever. I went home from school, it was all cool, and then the next day I went up to them and then they were like, oh, we don't want to be a friend anymore. And I was just like, what? And like, yeah, like, we don't want to talk to you anymore. For no reason at all. Like, that, you know, when I would have my friends, they would go up to guys that I don't even like and be like, oh my god, Laura likes you so much, like, you know, you should go out with her. So then they would agree, and then I'd be stuck dating, I say dating because it probably lasted a few days, this guy that I didn't even like, and then like a week or a couple of days later they would dump me, and then I would look like an idiot and everyone would laugh at me like, oh my god, I can't believe he broke up with you. I'm just like, I didn't even like him in the first place. You know, and I don't know. I think it's really important to remember that once high school ends, none of those people matter. Like, I seriously promise you will never see any of them again. Like, you're gonna move on and everyone's gonna forget about the fact that, you know, you didn't wear the coolest clothes, or that you weren't the prettiest, or you weren't the smartest. Everyone's gonna go overseas and, you know, move to different states and get different jobs and start living their lives, and they're gonna forget about you. And it won't matter, like, they're not gonna care about you anymore. And, like, I know it's hard. But I promise, like, that there's no point in giving up. You know, don't let yourself get to a point where you give up. There's always something that you can do. And I don't know, never feel like you're alone. Because, you know, you're never alone. There's always someone. Like, you know, your parents, or a friend, or a counsellor, or someone. There will always be someone that you can talk to. I know it might not feel like it, but there will be. And I know it does a lot of damage. I still have so much insecurity, and every single day, like, do you think that I go outside wearing no makeup? No. I can't even sit around my own home wearing no makeup just in case my parents see me, because I don't want them to. You know, I always do my hair and dress up nicely because want people to accept me, I guess. And I don't like that. That really annoys me. I'm gotten to a point where I'm okay with who I am as a person. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think I'm perfect and I, have flaws and stuff, but I like who I am as a person. And I think that's the most important thing, and that will be the only thing that will get you through it, is to know who you are and be okay with it. If you're okay with yourself, then no one can take that away from you. And it does get better. Everything gets better. You weren't put on this earth to suffer. Like, you will be okay, things will work out, and you will be happy, and you will find someone that loves you for every single piece of you, all the good and bad stuff, and that will make it worth it. The people that say stuff to you in school, they're no one. Like, they're not gonna matter. Give it 10 years and you won't even know who they are anymore. Like, someone will mention their name to you and you'll be like, oh, I remember them. Like, there'll be nothing. Don't choose a permanent solution for a temporary problem, because I promise things will always work out. Like, there are so many people that don't even know what I've been through in my life, and that I'm so much stronger for all the stuff that's happened to me, all the mental and verbal abuse that I've, and physical actually, and the physical abuse that I've copped throughout my whole life. The past, not including this year, but the past 3 years, I was in an abusive relationship, and no one knows that except for Tom, and because it was just something that I was really ashamed of, and I didn't think anyone would understand, and that it would be my fault. But it's not your fault. Nothing is ever your fault, and I feel like the bullying and stuff that I had from growing up as a child probably what led me to that relationship, because of my low self-esteem, and that I didn't have any self-worth, and I didn't believe in myself, and I think that's the reason that I got to that point. And I often had times where I didn't think that things would work out or that things would get better for me, but they did. They always do. I'm so happy now. I've moved out of this little town that I grew up in, away from everyone and all the bad memories, and I'm living with someone that I love more than anything, that treats me with kindness and respect. And I never thought that I would get to this point. I never thought I would be happy. I spent my whole life being put down and told I wasn't good enough, or that I couldn't do what I wanted, I wasn't pretty enough, I wasn't smart enough. And I believed them. And I think as soon as you let them in, as soon as you let their comments start to affect the way that you live your life, then they've won. And don't let them win. Why should they win? They're probably just as insecure as you are, and that's why they pick on you, because it makes them feel better about themselves to know that someone else is miserable. You're never alone. There's always someone that you can talk to. You can talk to me if you want, like, even if you don't know me. If you don't feel like you have anyone else that you can talk to, you could talk to me. You can talk to someone. There's always someone. There's always a solution. Things will always get better, I can promise you that. It might seem like the end of the road now, but things always get better. At the beginning of last year, I didn't even think I would be here. I didn't know if I would make it through the year. And whilst I don't think I ever would have done it, I definitely considered harming myself. And I feel like the fact that I didn't is the reason that I'm here now and that I have everything that I wanted. Imagine if I'd ended things at the beginning of last year. I wouldn't have all the good stuff in my life that I have now. I wouldn't be happy, you know? All I had to do was hold on for a few more months. And that's what I did. And I'm so glad that I did. Like, you don't know. All of you sitting there crying your eyes out every single night. You don't know. Maybe in a couple of months things will get better. Maybe in a year they'll get better. You just have to trust that this is not the way that you're going to live your life. And that things will always get better. Always, always, always. And I know I'm saying that a lot, but it's seriously true, and I feel like that's the worst part. You think you're in like this deep hole of depression or sadness, and you feel like you are never gonna get out, and that there's no light, and that you're just stuck there forever, and that you're so alone. There's always a light. Things will always get better. Things will always, always get better. In weeks, months, years, whatever. You will get to a point and you will say to yourself, I'm so glad that I didn't give up. When you give up, they win. They get what they wanted. And you can't let them have that. They're not worth it. They're not worth losing your life. No one is. I hope this helped. I feel like I've been talking for ages. So sorry. But yeah, I hope at least one of you can relate to this or learn something from this. And, you know, if you guys ever want to talk to me or you have any questions, you can always ask. Like, I hope you have an amazing day, because you all deserve to be happy, and don't let anyone take that away from you. I'll talk to you guys later.